What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Please like, comment, hit that subscribe button. We are reacting to Candace Owens destroying Ben Shapiro, not yet again, for like the 20th time, and the Daily Wire. Also, we're going to react to who used to be Trump's biggest, I'd say podcaster, pusher, supporter, Megyn Kelly, Candace, Theo. We're going to react to what they're saying about Trump and this administration, and in regards to Israel and their support. Enough talking. Let's get it started, y'all.
I sent them to all these people. I got no response from Susie Wiles. None. And she's a mother and a grandmother and a woman. I got no response from James Blair because he only cares about making money on campaigns. I did hear from Kash Patel. He said on it, but I haven't heard from him since. I don't know what he's on.
True.
JD Vance was very nice to me, compassionate and kind, and reassured me that he would do everything we could to find out what's going on. And then I heard back from Donald Trump. And I've saved these text messages. I'd probably get put in jail if I released them publicly, but I saved them. Where Donald Trump proceeded to tell me that it was my fault and that I deserve it. If my son gets killed, I deserve it because I was a traitor to him. That is our president of the United States. That's the man that says MAGA is whatever he wants it to be.
That's why I continue to say, guys, it's time to take the black pill. Just accept that both sides suck and let's unite and let's figure this out. There's a lot of people running right now that I am very excited for. For example, Dan Bilzerian, James Fishback. We need to put in people who are going to put the country first, not a foreign nation that doesn't pay their salary. Our taxes pay their salary. So we need to just stop that. We need to end it. And in this video, Marjorie Taylor Greene explains how she asked this administration for help because her and her sons and her children were getting death threats, and this administration, actually not this administration, Trump himself said, you deserve it. That's what he said to one of his biggest supporters since day one, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So this just shows you that she's not a loyal person whatsoever. And now we're about to show you what Theo thinks about this administration and Israel topic.
Relationship with Israel, the Israeli political leaders. That's what I mean. I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It feels like they just want to cause pain. They just, they don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people. It doesn't seem like that. I've never heard that spoken.
That's true.
And I believe that if we don't speak up now, that our children won't have the chance to speak up.
Our children won't even have a future whatsoever because it is impossible to survive. Unless you're like 1 in 1,000 that just gets lucky. Most of Americans right now are struggling on multiple incomes. It's nearly impossible right now to actually be able to have money aside and money for vacations or extra things. For example, what if you had to have an emergency like surgery? They're charging like $100,000+, while Israel gets free insurance and healthcare from our taxes. But Americans don't even ask for free healthcare. But our taxes are going to fund a foreign country's healthcare. You see the big picture now?
Either by law or by worse. And that may sound crazy to some people, and that's fine if it does. If it does sound crazy to you and you think I'm crazy on that point of view, that's okay. I don't, I may disagree with you, but that's okay. I do want to, I worked hard to be able to have a voice for myself. And so I hope at least you just respect that. Or I hope at least you just see that. Like, at least I'm trying to say what I want to say. And I don't understand our government's relationship with Israel's leaders and with Israel's government. I don't understand it. It feels like there's this war machine and then our soldiers are put into these spaces.
Yeah, we have 12 soldier members who tragically lost their life in Iran or from Iran on Israel's behalf. None of that needed to happen. As we know, the Afghanistan debacle under Biden, that was such a weak moment for America. Well, Trump's whole Iran conflict is that moment. And not just that, but also what he's done in Venezuela. He's bombed 8+ countries in a little over a year. Our taxes fund this. It costs billions per day in regards to the war with Iran. It's crazy, and this needs to end ASAP.
And they're just there to serve an America that they believe in. And it's no knock against them or anything like that. It's just, it just feels like it's causing a lot of pain and fear. And yeah, I don't understand I don't understand Trump's relationship. I don't understand our political, like, why we are so beholden to this government, this Israeli government that just seems to be obsessed with control. And it feels like bloodlust, like they just it's not enough. Like, after what happened in Gaza, I don't see how there could be any other view.
Yeah. And as I've spoken about a lot, what's happening in Lebanon, there's a mass genocide happening in Lebanon as well right now. And this administration says nor does nothing. But Trump will go on X or Truth Social and post on a daily that he literally threatens their whole civilization to take him off the map. How is that not war crimes or, propping up? It's like you're egging on a country to attack us. It's just pathetic, dude. They've already said they don't want war. I mean, we start every war, and this is something he ran on: no regime changes, no wars. And we're just bombing countries, letting Israel do all whatever they want to do. It's getting overwhelming. Like, it's just the same shit every day. But anyways, that was a great take from Theo Von. Now we're going to actually show you what Megyn Kelly has been saying. She was one of Trump's biggest cheerleaders. Now she's totally against him and the MAGA, as I call it, Make Israel Great Again movement. Let's see what she said on Pierce yesterday.
European airline. This has been a disaster for the Trump administration and for our country and for the world. I mean, the global fuel supply, just take a look at the numbers. You've got American, European airlines, Middle East airlines now completely revamping their forecast for this year. We reported this morning that American Airlines had projected a $4 billion profit expected this year. It's all been wiped out. They said that entire thing has been wiped out by the rising price of jet fuel. Spirit Airlines just went over here in America. They were already struggling for years, but this didn't help. And all of that's going to eventually get passed on to the consumer. So, and that's just one example. That's airline fuel. I mean, forget prices at the actual gas pump and the cost of oil in general, which tends to skyrocket energy and other prices. All of that's coming, even if we end the war. This has been a disaster for the Trump administration.
Ran on, cheaper gas, cheaper oil, cheaper living, cheaper bills, cheaper everything. And unfortunately, under him, the gas was going down for a tad, but now it's skyrocketing. And it's getting expensive. It's hard to survive when you have everything that you spend money on or need for essentials going up constantly. And you're not making more at work because these big, Amazon, for example, or Costco or Sam's Club, these big time owners want to pay their employees shit and keep all the profit. That's how it goes. Richer get richer, the poorer get poorer, right? it's sad. It's very sad to see. But we can send billions to Israel and other foreign countries like Ukraine, and it'd be completely fine. But we can't pass a couple billion to, give back, put some money back in the taxpayers' pockets who've been funding this circus for decades, right? They can't do that. They can't do no Doge cuts or less spending. It's just pathetic at this point. They're so compromised, both sides.
Offensive largely of Israel over the past few years. I'm disgusted by this because the truth to what I had previously believed was a lie about Israel. I didn't get into the day today that much on what was happening in Gaza, but I generally felt like, you know what? They attacked Israel. It was absolutely brutal. I meant that at the time, and they have every right to go and, harshly defend themselves against the group of people that did it. No, it's so far beyond that. They genuinely don't seem to care about the tens of thousands of civilians, including children, including members of the press, including people who are obviously innocent. And enough time goes by, Piers, and even people like me who were previously pro-Israel see, wait a minute, they're lying. They're using that, the horror of 10/7 to justify their own terrible behavior every day thereafter. And you see this on camera. You can't avoid it. The other piece of the card is...
I would also ask people to look into what happened on 10/7. There was an election coming right after that, or right before that. Before that event, there was an election that was taking place. He had record low approval. That is Netanyahu. He would have been removed if that election took place, but mysteriously it happens, and then he cancels the elections, and now he's attacking every Middle Eastern country. As we know, if you look into the Greater Israel Project, the plan is to take over the whole Middle East. And unfortunately, they're using blackmail via Epstein on our country to continue this mass slaughter of innocent people. It's very sad. And then they compare all, Muslims to terrorists. And then anytime you critique the Israel people or the Zionists, they'll just say, you can't say this. You're an anti-Semite. You hate Jews. No, we hate the government of Israel, just like we hate the government of America. It's really that simple.
Is what's happening now in Iran, where President Trump, I think, having realized this was a massive mistake, is trying repeatedly to get us out of it, the United States. And why can't we? Because our truly close personal ally, Israel, won't let us. Every time he tries to declare a peace, they start bombing Lebanon again. And Iran says, you know what? There's no peace deal. This was part of it. We know it was part of it because the Pakistani prime minister tweeted that out the night of the ceasefire, saying Lebanon is part of it. And only once Israel called Trump, Netanyahu, saying, hey, we really want to keep bombing Lebanon and we're not going to agree not to, did it suddenly get otherized. And that's been one of the main sticking points in actually having a ceasefire ever since. Israel at every turn turns to warlike behavior, more deaths of civilians. Look at the journalists who are being killed in Lebanon, not to mention the children who are getting bombed. Some of it is on camera. And every time just says, oh, well, we tried not to. Well, I listened to that. I listened to that for a good year, 2 years. And now I see you doing it in a location after location, and Lebanon and Beirut is starting to look like Gaza, and you're unapologetic about it, and you won't work with us. And you definitely goaded our president into this, though he has agency and is equally to blame. And now I'm sick of it, and I don't care. And I think Tucker doesn't care, and I think you don't care, and sane people don't care. Call me whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I've been called now an anti-Semite by you folks.
Yeah, it's the same tactic, isn't it?
Truly disgusting person.
Yeah, that's the craziest part of it all. Our taxes fund it, 1. 2, there's actually a genocide happening in multiple countries in the Middle East, and they cheer it on. Yet, if you say anything about the government of Israel or Israel altogether, they call you an anti-Semite and then bring up World War II and use that to shut you down so you can't have open dialogue, debate, or discussion. See how it works? You say anything about them, you get canceled. But you encourage it and the genocide to continue, you're a hero. It's clown world. It makes absolutely no sense. Now the main story and why we're here, Candace Owens. Let's get to what she said just yesterday. And as we know, she is the best at ending people's careers in debate, but especially Ben Shapiro.
So here's the thing. Theo Vaughn is a low IQ conspiracist. He has himself routinely propped up Candace Owens, has lent credence to her insanity. Theo Vaughn is basically just a Bernie Sanders leftist who does not like the censorious impulses of the left and engages in all the same conspiracy theories and, of course, is good friends with Candace Owens and all of the rest of it. And yes, Erica Kirk absolutely should sue the living hell out of Candace Owens for this sort of stuff.
Right.
Well, Michael, I'll
whatever.
just ask you straight up. Is Candace Owens doing something evil by attacking Erica Kirk?
I think that it's wrong to attack Erica Kirk.
Well,
Why?
No, say the sentence with her
No,
name in it.
I'm not going to dance like a puppet for the podcast force.
I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that
Asking
again,
questions.
But what
because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what?
I'm going to bring it up again. I know I just spoke about it. He is trying to get Candace Owens' career and her life just canceled over criticizing Turning Point and the Charlie Kirk assassination. Yet he constantly cheers on this administration, the cover up for pedophiles on the Epstein files, and for Israel's mass genocide. All of that is fine, but you ask just a couple questions about your best friend who was taken out the way he was. God forbid you have to cancel her and her whole existence. It's such a joke.
Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes. Of course, the issue here is not just that Megyn Kelly has some questionable principles and has been programming directly into the Groyper right. It is that she remains a coward. Remember, this is still the woman who says she is friends with Candace Owens.
So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA or to mirror her bullshit lines of questioning because you love Candace personally. The same holds true of Megyn Kelly.
I mean, it's just not normal.
It's unhinged.
Right? It's just not normal to go after Theo Von. Everybody loves Theo Von. He's just a person that everybody loves, but he just goes, Theo Von is friends with Candace Owens, and I therefore hate him and I want to destroy him. And every person has to want to destroy her and join this team. You can't have those sorts of people in the boardroom. Your company will eventually destroy itself. Now, if the employees found out on Friday that the company could no longer afford to sustain them, then we can reasonably assume that Ben, who's a part owner of the company, knew months ahead. And so what you're looking at there is that with his dying corporate breath, what he wanted was to come after me, me. That is not to say that people turned away from him because people don't like political beef, right? It's not like there's tons of political beef. I have political beef with people. People actually have proven they have a high appetite for back and forth drama, left versus right, well, women versus men, whatever it is, whatever the prevailing narrative is of the day. Nobody minded when Trump would attack Marco Rubio or Ron DeSantis. I've had personal and legal spats with people like Kim Klacik as just one example. People do expect figureheads to clash. What they don't expect and what people have proven that they have no appetite for is perfidy, right? Treachery, deceit, betrayal against your own. Ben trying to destroy me, trying to destroy Megyn Kelly.
And Ben Shapiro is just like Donald Trump. The minute you criticize Israel, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene with Trump, same with Ben Shapiro or Mark Levin, all these neocon Zionist Israel first people who are now in bed with Trump were originally the never Trumpers, and we were the original supporters of Trump. So they flip-flop. Now Trump's in bed with the neocons who used to literally hate him. If you used to hear what Mark Levin, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, all these Fox News pundits who cheer him on today said back then, you'd be like, what's going on, dude? They were literally the biggest haters while we were the biggest cheerleaders. Unfortunately, he's lost his base there. But it's just crazy.
That means trying to destroy a former colleague and someone like Megyn Kelly, who he said was his friend. That is perfidious. There's no other way to say that. Ben seeking to publicly humiliate Michael Knowles, say her name. There is something about that that makes the public naturally recoil, right? Because it demonstrates that you have no honor, you have no dignity, you have no loyalty. They can forgive you demanding COVID shots, right? Get the vaccine dose. They can forgive you once leading the Never Trump movement, but they cannot forgive you treating people that are supposed to be close to you in that manner, right? To use a biblical analogy, Peter thrice denied Jesus. But Peter was not Judas. We are naturally, as human beings, averse to the spirit of Judas. And that is what Ben Shapiro demonstrates, right? That he will break bread with people as he plots against them. That is a moral offense to which we cannot rally behind. People do not like his nature. You can spend years trying to destroy someone behind the scenes, like Ben did to Charlie Kirk, and then boop, just flip on the dime as soon as he dies, slither into his studio and throw $1 million trying to purchase his legacy. It is spiritually repulsive. That is what the public cannot bear about the Daily Wire.
Yeah, and Ben Shapiro used to be the king, or he thought he was the king, really the queen of debating when it came to open free speech dialogue. Now he's like the first one trying to cancel everyone he disagrees with. And while we're on the topic of the Daily Wire, I wanted to see actually the numbers just because I'm curious. So it looks like as of May 2nd, Ben Shapiro's YouTube channel has bled over 100,000 subscribers since late 2025. This comes as the company, the Daily Wire, has been forced to lay off a large number of employees and scale back its future plans due to declining viewership. I wonder why the viewership has decreased. That's very, very telling and obvious why it decreased. Now, huge story actually coming out today that everyone's talking about. Well, pastors of America were actually invited to go to a closed casket government meeting about aliens. And I've talked a lot about Operation Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, and how the government's going to try to do a fake alien invasion on the world. And this guy's about to tell us how, and then I'll get into a little bit more after.
To great detail. I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
Told you guys it's coming, and I believe it's government made. I think it's a deflection or distraction from the Epstein files, and I think it's all connected. And I think to distract us from the Epstein files, which really comes down to demons running our world, I actually really believe they're demons. They need to distract us from that, because that's the loudest subject that Americans won't let go of, is the protection of children. And we need distractions. So they're going to try Operation Blue or Project Bluebeam. Look into it. Let me actually show you the best. So if you're going to watch a video, this one's not only funny, but informative, and one of the actual doctors who was a part of it. And I would suggest you guys all watch this video if you actually want to look into Project Bluebeam, because it's coming regardless if you want it to or not. And yeah, you guys should have all the knowledge you need to know what the hell is going to happen and what we're going to see. Where's it at? There it is right here. So it's happening by internet what is his name? Internet Comment Etiquette with Eric. Watch that video. It's 22 minutes. It's funny too as well, but very informative, and it will tell you all you need to know about Project Bluebeam. But it is coming, and I think it can come at any point because they need distractions, as I said. But curious what you guys think about everything that's going on. Sorry, I know I kind of included a lot of random clips, but I think it's time we show what the people who, you know, were the biggest cheerleaders for Trump, who are now saying, including myself. I was a supporter of him. Now I no longer support him. I think he is trash. He is trash. Hope you guys have a blessed day. See you on the next video. Peace.